What's up in War Eagle War Rapport family? Hopefully everybody's doing really good out here. You got Ike Jones jumping in here live reactions to what's going on right now. If you don't know what's happening, then you aren't paying attention. Two commits already today. Malcolm Simmons, Perry Thompson, both commit to Auburn football. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Got Ike Jones in here. Gonna be joined by C Dub in just a minute to get your reactions to what's going down on the plains. Big Cat weekend, big things popping off here in the plains. What's up? How's everybody feeling, man? Can I get a War Eagle in the comments if you're feeling all right? I don't see enough War Eagles popping off in here. What's up, man? Y'all tell me how y'all feeling, man. Perry Thompson just made it official. Malcolm Simmons made it official earlier. C Dub in the place to be. What's up, man?
What's going on, Ike? I see the camera's positioned a little differently, man.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to get it straightened out, man, but I didn't want to prolong the live too much.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, man, how you feeling, man? I know you've been running around today, but we got big news. Two commits so far. Might not be the last commits of the day, but most recently, of course, the big one that everyone has been anticipating for a while. Perry Thompson commits to Auburn. 5-star Perry Thompson flips from Alabama. 6'4", 202. But how you feeling about that, man?
I feel good about it, man. I'm excited about it. It's been one of those things to where you've been wondering, is he? If he is, when? All of that is behind us now. Perry Thompson is a part of the class, and it's impressive. It's impressive because for so long, Ike, even when Auburn was recruiting well, when you think about the Gene Chizik era, you think about first half of Malzahn's tenure here at Auburn. Even when we were recruiting well, Alabama was still invincible. They still looked untouchable when it came to guys they wanted in part of their class. To see us just right when Hugh Freeze came on board with Auburn, they flipped guys from Ohio State. They flipped a guy from Miami. These are schools that are known to get who they want. But we were waiting to see what does he do with Bama and Georgia. And in 1 week, he flipped a kid from Georgia. And then he flipped a kid from Bama in the same week. And now what it seems is that now Bama doesn't seem as invincible. Obviously, you're not going to win every battle against them. They're going to get their fair share of guys. I always felt like your job as a new head coach in Hugh Freeze is with your biggest rivals recruiting nationally, at least go after the guys that they're overlooking. Don't allow the Miamis, the Clemsons, the Floridas of the world to come in and raid your state, but to go head to head and go after someone. You know, we had Woodyard. We flipped him a few years ago, but let the rumors tell it. There were some things going on with his recruitment that turned him off. He was looking to go elsewhere. Bama didn't drop the ball here. Hugh Freeze just rolled up on Bama and said, "Hey, let me get Perry Thompson up out of you, Playboy. Let me get that from you." Like they big boyed Bama for this guy, and that's what's so exciting to see this staff. Ike, they haven't played a game.
Right.
They haven't won nothing yet. For them to be able to do this on this level, it makes you wonder if Hugh Freeze is able to show proof of concept and show that he has this thing going in the right direction, there's really not too many people that they can go after or at least be in it. I like the fact that in this new era with this new coaching staff, Nick Saban and Kirby Smart has to respect what Auburn has going on down on the plains. Yeah. I don't think that in the past few years they've been able to say that. I don't think in the past years they've been worried about, well, what if Auburn wants him? Regardless of whether this kid lived in our backyard or not, if they wanted him, they wasn't concerned about Auburn getting them. I think those days are behind them. Auburn just showed up to the party. Auburn made a grand entrance. They kicked the door in and they like, we here. So I'm excited about it. It's a good day to be an Auburn Tiger.
Absolutely a good day to be at Auburn Tiger. It's a good day for you guys to share the video, get in here and let somebody else know. We want reactions from you all, how you're feeling. What other names are you hoping to see pop up today as committed? I want to talk about those. But again, two commitments today. Don't want to rush past the Malcolm Simmons commitment.
For sure.
Let me get a second because this camera is annoying me. So I'm gonna let C hold this down for just a minute while I get this camera together and talk a little bit about Malcolm Simmons, if you will, sir.
Yeah, Malcolm Simmons has been a big time. I know he always been interested in Auburn. He was a kid from basically down the road. He's been wanting to go to Auburn, but I think with what happened with Cam Coleman and a few others, there was a spot that opened up for this kid, and now he's just took advantage of it. This his recruitment kind of started off a very exciting uh Big Cat weekend. And so I'm excited about him joining. Very athletic kid, about 6 feet, shifty. I hear that, he's going to be kind of a developmental project, but he is a very talented kid. But I'm excited about the wide receiver room for sure moving forward. Ike, your thoughts on Malcolm Simmons' commitment. He was the one who jump started this day.
Yeah. So 6 foot kid, like you said, 174. Definitely a little raw, developmental, but tons of athleticism, can jump out of the gym from what I've seen. What I am looking for from him is the fact that he made his commitment with a guy like Bryce Kane already in the class, knowing Perry Thompson was going to be committing. I think everybody already knew what was going to be going down with that. So it's good to be able to have a young man who understands that he's going to be a part of what could be greatness, and he embraces that with all of the I don't think that there's a lack of schools who would have taken a Malcolm Simmons commitment, right? And so when you have a kid that's ready to be able to just kind of embrace that challenge, I love that. I love that he's going to come in, and I think we've got some good guys in front of him. Camden Brown, I think, is going to be very instrumental in these next 2 seasons, really helping develop young men within this system. Because
Jay
if you
Fair.
heard on the fireside chat, you hear how he's excited to play in the system. He's kind of in the mold of what Coach Freeze wants to be, a big body receiver that can go up and make catches in traffic and got enough top end speed to be able to threaten down the field. He's going to be a guy that's going to help a guy like Perry Thompson come along quickly, a guy like Malcolm Simmons come along quickly. Malcolm Simmons is a little shorter, right? Like, he's not the big body receiver, but he is a guy, again, with Bryce Kane already in there as a guy who's going to play in the slot. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how Malcolm Simmons fits into the whole picture. But again, super athletic young man. So looking forward to seeing that pay dividends in the future for this Auburn staff.
And I think with Malcolm Simmons, one of the things that he talked about is being the class that changes things at Auburn. And I think that's one of the biggest things that Hugh Freeze and the staff is selling these kids is come build a legacy here at Auburn. Come be the class that turns things around at Auburn and makes them a contender in for the national championship. Let's be the foundational class. And I think that message is starting to resonate. You already got guys on campus who have already bought in to that, and to see Thompson be one of the latest ones, Simmons be one of the latest guys. You have Joseph Phillips already on campus recruiting, Walker White already on campus recruiting. This is what you've always wanted to see when you get some of your bigger name kids on already committed and part of your class. Now, when you got guys like Perry Thompson, you got guys like DeMarcus Riddick, you got those guys on campus, and they some guys. We got some dudes committed right now to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever this coaching staff is going at, and they're looking at who they have the potential to play with, this is a pretty impressive group. And I think this is whoever's on campus now, all the kids who are watching this unfold, there's no doubt in my mind that they believe things are different at Auburn. Things are different at Auburn. I think I want to come play at that school. I think I want to be a part of what they got going on. So again, this is fun. This is exciting. And I think this is one of the more exciting Big Cat weekends we've seen. I think Gene Chizik, when he's introduced it was exciting because it was very new.
Right.
But I think us to be over a decade later and seeing this type of impact that Big Cat is having, this has been a very exciting time for there to be no football, no fall practice, no fall camps. Kudos to this coaching staff for all their hard work, and it appears to be paying off this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the big things that I love about this is the excitement that I see from the other young men that are out here Seeing you guys' comments, we'll get to these here in just a second. But Steve Bradley jumps in and he says, waiting on more big names to add to our list. Another speculation, KJ Bolden is another name that people are hoping makes that commitment this weekend. We'll see how that progresses. Phil Petway says, peer pressure can be good or bad. We have good peer pressure. Come join the guys. We got something cooking up. I think maybe there is a little bit of that going on right now where guys feel the environment and everybody's all excited and they want to join in on the excitement. And people are making those decisions. I won't say in haste, but definitely in the moment and feeling like, okay, this is where I want to be. The question I have for you, C, is do you feel like anybody's going to leave campus and then say to themselves, man, I shouldn't have done
that? From the guys who were committed, no. Because with Malcolm Simmons, Malcolm has wanted to be at Auburn for a while. So I don't see him leaving Auburn regretting that decision, because this is the opportunity that he wanted. This is the moment. I doubt he'll leave Auburn thinking, and especially when you look at his offer list and what Auburn's got going on, I don't see him regretting that decision. With Perry Thompson, this has been in the making for him.
Right.
And for a person like Perry Thompson, I think what we have to remember about these kids, and I don't think anyone has really mentioned this, but when you have a Perry Thompson, when you have someone like a DeMarcus Riddick, Ike, these are some big name kids who have been a part of this recruiting process for quite some time. They're ready to shut this down. Right. In many cases, because in another week or so, they're going to be playing high school football. They're going to be ready for their senior seasons. It's good to get all the love. It's good to have your phone blown up every day because of coaches all over trying to talk to you, trying to check in on you. Every weekend you're visiting a school. These guys are ready to for things to slow down. And so I think, if anything, it's like a weight off their shoulders to finally make these decisions and move forward onto the next big thing. So you hope that it's not a hasty thing, but with the guys who committed specifically, I think that these guys are ready to get it over with and move on. And so I doubt that that's the question, but I mean, that's the issue, but you just never know. I hope it's the former, in which they're ready to move forward.
Yeah. Jumping in, P-Pass says Walker White equals Auburn coach in 2038. Looking further ahead. Listen, Walker White's been doing great work trying to get other guys committed to this class. I applaud just the camaraderie he's trying to build with young men and get them in here and trying to figure out who are the ones that want to play alongside him. And listen, man, he's doing the great work. The guys who committed early to this class have been doing a lot of work to get other guys and making it feel like, listen, I get where Auburn has been, but this is the vision of the future, helping sell the coach's vision of what they want to see happen out there on the field. So that's been a wonderful thing to be able to see out there. Daniel Owen jumps in and says, now this is what Big Cat Weekend is supposed to be about. Agreed with that 100%. Let's see here. Auburn Dad, our guy Auburn Dad says, boy, these videos are off the hook. And to double down on that, Anthony Grant, bruh, it was like legit 20 lives going at once. Everybody was live out there at the pool. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, see. But
I checked a few of them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there was like over 1,000 people on Walker White's live watching when he was doing that. But they walked Perry Thompson out there with Coach Freeze, handed him a microphone so everybody out there could hear it. And they went crazy when he said that he was going to be flipping his commitment over to Auburn. So definitely good energy happening right now at that pool side.
Yeah. It was funny seeing it. Is again, James Barnett, Bama is salty right now. There's a few commits in their feelings too, which I got a good chuckle out of watching a few of those live. So it's a good day. It's a really good day, and it's good to see Bama at least on a micro level experience what we have been dealing with for quite some time, Ike.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good feeling, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. All right. So in here right now, live from Big Cat Weekend, we got our guy, Mike G. What up, baby?
Hey. So we're live on the plains at the athletic department at the Performance Center. The recruits are coming back. There was a pool party. I heard you guys mention some great energy going out by the pool. And Perry Thompson has just flipped his commitment from Alabama to Auburn. This was not unexpected. If you've been watching us, you know that we were calling this flip for quite some time. So we're waiting on Thompson to pull up now. I'm going to jump back in with you guys in a little bit once Thompson arrives, and we'll get his official comments on his flip from the Tide to the Tigers. So a lot of great energy. Guys, this was a well-executed Big Cat weekend. It was such a great Big Cat weekend. The guys looked like they were having fun. Their parents, I got a chance to talk to Grandma Riddick. Just a lot of great energy in the building right now. Well, of course, Auburn's #1 recruiter, Walker White, was here. I sat and talked with him for a little bit. Just a lot of great energy around what's going on here. The coaches believe in it. Jeremy Garrett is excited. Zach Etheridge was here. Of course, the mayor, get crunked up. Trevon Reed. These guys have put so much time and effort and energy into this weekend. And I think they've done a great job carrying on a tradition that was started a long time ago and then evolving that into something that is a must experience for high school recruits who are considering SEC schools. So Perry Thompson is committed. There's a lot of excitement in the building right now. And I'm going to jump back in with you guys as soon as Thompson pulls up back from the pool party, and we're going to get his comments on his commitment. You guys have any questions about Big Cat? I know you can probably see the thing in the back. This place has been completely decorated. They decked it out. They went all out for Big Cat weekend.
Yeah. Listen, the people are excited. They're wondering, is this pretty much the climax of Big Cat, or should we be expecting some more surprises along the way?
Well, I think Thompson was definitely the crescendo of this. People wanted to see, this is 2 composite 5 stars, but really Thompson would be the first consensus 5-star, right, that Auburn has gotten in quite some time. So his commitment was definitely the highlight of this weekend. Now, I think your question is, does that start other dominoes to fall in terms of recruiting? Because these stars want to play with other stars, and they all talk and they know where they're going. I mean, I can say it now that Perry Thompson is committed. Cam Coleman told me a month ago that Thompson was going to flip. He made his decision to go to A&M, but he, had shared with me, hey, Perry Thompson's coming to Auburn, Mike. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Now, until he says it, you must remain skeptical. But does this start the dominoes falling with him saying, hey, what's going on the Plains that, kids like Thompson want to play here? And I think Hugh Freeze and his staff have done a tremendous job starting that momentum going and then parlaying that into big commitments from big-time recruits. They've got to be able to do this, man. He had DK Metcalf FaceTime with Thompson.
Right.
The culmination of all those things that they did to get Thompson in the door, it obviously worked because he's committed. He's now an Auburn Tiger.
One other very important question we got to ask you, Mike G, before you
I
hop
knew
off.
this was coming.
Can we get a Yahtzee out of you, sir?
I knew this was coming.
What's funny was we didn't do it while we were live, but we actually got plus 600 likes on that live.
I saw that after the fact.
So,
I saw that after
it's exciting, man. All right, man. Yahtzee, whatever. Hugh Freeze is doing great things down on the Plains. It is amazing what's going on here. Again, I'm just going to jump back in with you guys. You guys can put me on standby, and I will jump back in as soon as Perry Thompson pulls up, and we'll try to get some live comments from him here from the Performance Center.
Mike G, give you some coverage from the Performance Center. We appreciate you, man. Hop back in whenever you got Thompson with you. We appreciate you for doing what you're doing, sir.
All right,
man. That is Mike G at the moment. And I'm solo right now. I'm going to grab some of you guys' comments. I know y'all are excited right now. Anthony Grant here says, and don't let the elephants fool you. They are nervous. And this, to me, this is all I ever wanted with Hugh Freeze. This is all I ever wanted. I just wanted to make you, and again, you may not win every battle, but Bama fans have always felt very confident about whoever they wanted in this state as across the nation. I think this has sent the message to them that if you're going to beat Auburn for in-state recruit, you're going to work for it. Auburn is no longer going to lay down and just let you just roll out the red carpet for you to get whoever you want, in your class. You got to fight them for it. And this Hugh Freeze basically shoplifting and just sticking up Nick Saban for an in-state recruit who Bama wanted. Right. They can't lie. They can't cap now and talking about, oh, he wasn't gonna be all that good anyway. Oh, he wouldn't. No, you can't lie.
Oh yeah, no, they were definitely excited when he committed the first time.
Absolutely.
You know, they tried to pull that with the DeMarcus Riddick thing, saying, "Oh, we didn't really want him." Georgia tried to say the same thing too. Like, that's just nonsense. I just don't understand the necessity in doing that stuff. But you know,
whatever makes you feel better about yourself, whatever helps you sleep at night. D-Lab says Flippopotamus. I like that. We got a request, Ike. Beast Mode Stove says, Ike, Flip City t-shirts is all I ask of you.
Okay.
Well, we got Lobtown and Flip City. I like that. And when Ike does that, that means the creative juices are going in his head. He's trying to.
Yeah, I had to figure out like how it makes sense as far as the design and all that kind of thing. We'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah, I think I like that. Daniel Owen says, I wonder where these commits leave us in the rankings. Haven't looked yet. I haven't looked yet either in terms of the commitment rankings, but we'll get all that. We'll look at how what we look at upon all the recruiting cycles or recruiting sites to see. But Auburn currently, if I look right here, Auburn currently has 14 commitments, and according to Rivals, they are ranked 24th. They're probably higher according to 247, but I'm not looking at them at the moment, and I'm pretty sure they're ranked higher as it pertains to On3 as well. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I think they just moved up to 24th on Rivals. So yeah, but any other, I think some people are showing 17th. Okay, Knox Cleveland says we're 17th. According to 247. Okay. So we're moving on up there. And again, I know that star average is looking pretty amazing right now, given that we're getting big hauls or big names coming on to this recruiting class. But Ike, any more thoughts about today and just what we've seen so far, man?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest thought is that again, love the energy that those young men seem to have around this entire thing. My sincere hope is that the one thing that I would wish from this weekend that would happen that has not happened yet is to get an O-line commit, so people would stop freaking out about offensive line. If we could just get one of those, DeAndre Carter's the big guy that everybody's hoping commits today. And if he does that, then maybe people will stop panicking a little bit about offensive line. But I am looking forward to seeing the first big offensive line commit to this class, making everybody feel as if there's enough cohesion in what we're doing right now to fully buy into the vision. Because I think that's really the only thing that people are still nitpicking about is, but this is all great, but we don't have any O-linemen. Hey, if we get the O-linemen this weekend, then you really have nothing else left to say until the season starts and they start winning games.
And I think too, the fact that DeAndre Carter, he's not a local kid. He came from the West Coast to come to Big Cat. That's a big deal. Even if he doesn't leave here committed to Auburn, the fact that he showed up for Big Cat weekend is very telling about where Auburn stands as it pertains to his commitment. They're in the race with this kid. They're up there. So you got to feel good about that. And again, seeing all the excitement, seeing the fun, I think this is someone who can really see himself playing at Auburn. Again, to your point, Ike, I think this is a staff that has shown what they've been able to do in a short period of time. Even if they have to basically reload their recruiting boards and look at other kids elsewhere for O-line, I do expect them to bring in some kids out of high school. But you have to keep in mind that the transfer portal was always going to be an option as it pertains to the offensive line position group. Look no further than what they did this offseason. I think they have proven that they can restock that position. But I do understand the concern of getting high school kids because you definitely need those for that position especially. So I trust this coaching staff. I think they've done enough to earn our trust there in terms of what they were able to do with offensive line. And who knows? I mean, once you're getting all these guys into the fold, you can focus a lot of your attention in the trenches. So it's a lot of time between now and December. That's what, five 4 months away. So I expect to see some positivity regarding that position. DeAndre Carter is one to keep an eye on. I think there's another kid who was supposed to show up who is expected to be in the fold, but I think he was sick. I can't think of his name right now. But
Sure.
yeah. But anyways, let's get to some of you guys' comments. Dustin Smith, appreciate you hanging out with us, man. He says clowns about to start saying Perry doesn't want to win. I've been seeing a lot of those comments from Bammers there.
I mean, listen, you already had the whole like people trying to echo the sentiments of AB, Antonio Brown, about him not making the right decision, but with going to Auburn, right? Because Auburn hasn't really produced anything at wide receiver. And I mean, he's not wrong in regard to that. Reese Baker is the kid that you were trying to think of. I see here our guy Dustin Smith out there doing work for Up Tempo Podcast. I see you giving us the scoop there. Reese Baker was the name that you were looking for. Yes. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Y'all shared a live, man. I don't know how many shares we got on this thing, but y'all ain't sharing it enough.
Share it. Smash the like button. Smash the like button too. We need that. We need that for sure. Grabbing some more comments here. Imani Smoot jumps on and says, I'm excited about the commitments, but I'm more excited about the coaches we have that can develop players. And I think this is the other part that I'm looking forward to seeing, Ike. What do we do with the kids that we bring in? Right. Yeah. If we can show development, I mean, we're going to be able to sustain this type of momentum recruiting because guys know, hey, not only is there a lot of excitement there, there's a lot of promise there, I can actually become the player I want to be there on the way to the pros. And again, that begins to sell your program in and of itself. In addition to winning and playing for championships, guys are getting into the league. Guys are actually achieving their goals and getting to the next level. So this is the next evolution in terms of Auburn being able to recruit. We've been able to promise playing time, right? We've been able to talk about our successes of the past, but showing, hey, we can produce first rounders. We can produce second rounder. We can get you into the league. This is what we do. When you begin to show that, it becomes a lot easier to recruit. I mean, mind you, they're making it look easy now, but if you got the development piece to show along with your success, all the other things are just icing on the cake. So yeah. I'm in agreement with you, Imani. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this coaching staff can do with this talent that they're pulling out of the portal as well as high school. I'm eager to see these. I want to be proud come April because Auburn has 5, 6, 7 draft picks. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to those moments. Kyle says, could Ryan Williams flip? I believe this is a wide receiver currently. I think he's currently committed to Bama and is in the 2025 class. I think he'd attended Bama's barbecue, if I'm not mistaken. Auburn has time with him. He could flip, to answer that question. I think we could see him flip. Won't be this weekend or anytime soon, but Auburn can play the long game with this kid because he's 2025. But there has been interest there. Auburn Dad for Life says, let's go. If Hugh wants it, he can get it. Let him know. War Eagle. Brad Browning says Rivals just updated their rankings. They have AU up to 24th. Yes, we just reported that. So Auburn is surging. Oda Smith says KJ announcing tomorrow. Now I thought I saw where he was going to actually announce
August 5th. I think is the date that I've seen most, and that's Wednesday. So I don't know if that's going to happen before he gets out of here this weekend, but yeah, August 5th is the date that he's been saying forever. So I'm going to take him at his word that that's still a thing.
And Zaquan Patterson, he's also here as well. That's a big time safety. So I'm eager to see what moves they make with KJ and Zaquan Patterson there. So it's a lot of guys. I think Jalewis Solomon, Bradley Shaw. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few days. And I think with football just getting ready to, like high school football getting ready to start up, I'm not quite sure how many visits Bolden is going to be able to take between now and his decision, which means Big Cat was planned perfectly around the time that he was deciding. And just to Mike G's point, the way they executed as a coaching staff, the way things have fallen into place this weekend has to make an impression, right, Ike?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that momentum is real. And I think that we're building the proper momentum to get some of these other things falling. You guys already used the domino thing, right? This domino falls and the next one is bound to happen. So hopefully we'll be in a place where those dominoes begin to fall. And, people saying Perry Thompson was the first domino. I think Riddick actually was the first domino, right? Like Perry Thompson, I think was already in line there, but Riddick was that first domino that fell and led to this stuff with, Malcolm Simmons and then now Perry Thompson. So Perry was technically the third domino in line here. And I think that it's just going to continue to move in that direction.
Yeah, this is the momentum that as a coaching staff you want to see with some of these kids that you want for sure. And again, recruiting is, it used to be something that resolved itself first Wednesday in February, Ike.
Mm-hmm.
It's sooner and sooner and sooner. It's like you're late in the game if you're trying to make inroads with these kids in September or October. Now it's July. Now it's June. And so seeing these kids, as I mentioned earlier, get this behind them and determine where they really want to be this is a big time all year round effort for this coaching staff. And so to get these guys beginning to fall now before their season start is huge. And you have extra boots on the ground. I mean, again, we mentioned what Walker White has been to this coaching staff in terms of recruiting other kids via social media, calling them, texting these guys. He's not alone now. You got other guys who are bought in, who are big names. And again, as Mike said, you want to play with some of the better players. And so if these guys are putting pressure on you, as one of the someone posted earlier, that peer pressure is that's real.
Yeah,
that's real, because when Perry Thompson hits you up and like, hey, bro, you need to come play with us, that hits a little different than just the coaching staff trying to get you to join them. So it's exciting. I'm curious to see what happens with KJ. I think there are some people who felt strongly about Ohio State. They're starting to back off of that, which I think was pretty interesting. I think it was Simmons, I think, of On 3. He's not quite confident about Ohio State at this point. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen some people flip their commitments already for KJ Bolden in our direction. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, there are people who, if they haven't flipped it, they are definitely lowering their confidence rating of him going other places.
Fat Burnett too. Fat Burnett as well. He's another person who shut down his commitment and is recruiting for Auburn as well.
Yeah, for sure. Is this what I think is happening right now?
I think so. I don't know if he's ready for us.
Yeah, we're just gonna peek in and see what's happening live at Big Cat. So you guys bear with us. We're producing this live.
How long have you known you were going to do this?
Honestly, like,
Yeah, that's him. That's the guy.
When did you know?
when I just came here and like just the environment and like everything felt like home, then it was like, yeah, this is it.
Was it your official visit?
Yes, sir.
Was it?
Yes, sir.
What was it about it?
The fish are just them just coming in, making me feel like family. Like you know, probably like 2 months, but it feel like the whole 5 years. It's just everything feels great.
What did Alabama say? Have you informed them, or is it?
I talked to Nick Thursday. He was trying to get me over here to the cookout game. I told him I'm sitting up in Auburn, and he respected it.
Okay. What was it about?
Auburn really just the legacy I can make. We can just be back to running the SEC of how Cam Newton there when they came through. I feel like we can bring that back to that 24 class.
Was there anything about kind of making your own way, kind of going?
That too, because the Julio Jones, I mean, it's not a bad comparison, but at the same time, you won't compare Thompson.
Barry, what did Hugh Freeze tell you about the system that you're going to be playing in, and what was the deciding factor as far as the offense they're going to be running?
A lot of one-on-one matchups, watching film at Liberty, and then sat down and he taught me through some of the plays they run. So a lot of one-on-one matchups and just you and the cornerback make plays, score touchdowns.
What about Marcus Davis, Barry? How big of a role did he play?
Up the big role, he came in, took me under the wing, and that's my guy.
Did Trevon read?
Reed, yeah, that's my guy too. They both like an uncle for real. It's like this is that family feeling.
picked up Malcolm Simmons, Marcus Riddick the other day. You think anybody else is on the verge of joining you?
I would say probably KJ.
You think so?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think so?
We've been talking a little bit. He here at another school is top 2.
Perry, what do you think of the guy standing right behind you?
Oh my God.
How big of an influence for me and other guys?
A lot. Y'all kept texting me every day, email days. So yeah.
Harry, did you help throw Hugh Freeze in the pool?
Actually, no. They were throwing him. I got an album where everybody looked at me and they were all cheering. So I just jumped in.
Did you do a flip?
Yeah, I had to hit a front flip. Yes, sir.
We were expecting that to be how you flip.
Perry, are you expecting to enroll for the spring semester or
Yes, sir.
graduate early?
Yes, sir.
Perry, Auburn has flipped Alabama commitments in state before. They've never stopped. What are the odds of you sticking with Auburn?
100%.
You're done?
Are you done? Pretty much.
Yes, sir. I'll be out.
Okay. Are you taking any more visits this fall? Probably not.
Wow, so you're done deal. Did you ask him, Mike, if he was an early graduate?
Yeah. He's
What do
gonna
you say?
he's gonna enroll in the
I
spring.
wasn't listening.
Yeah, definitely gonna enroll in the spring.
All right, big dog.
Perry, what's your message to the fans?
Man, hey, when I get up here, just know that we're going to change Auburn around, get them back to how they was.
All right, deal. All right, thanks, Barry. Appreciate you.
That was our guy Mike G live out there. Perry Thompson at Big Cat Weekend, man, doing the live reporting. Listen, I told y'all we bringing y'all all kind of new stuff this year, bro. Like we ain't going
brand
hold
new.
on, let's get Mike in here to get his live reaction after that right here.
You ready? You ready, Mike? You ready?
Yeah, you guys heard it. Barry Thompson is definitely committed. He said he is all but shutting it down.
He said
And
all,
he's
but
gonna
he
be
did seem a little hesitant on that, shutting it down. But
Yeah.
hopefully
Listen,
he's not.
I tried to press him. Are you going to be taking any more visits? And he said probably not. So this is where we're at right now, guys. Remember we talked about on the live. These commitments are going to be more solid late summer because they got to get ready if they want to be enrolled in spring ball. So they've decided to do that. Perry's behind me with Walker White right now, taking pictures. Guys, this commitment sticking. Right? It's clear that these guys want to play with each other. Walker White's been out here recruiting hard as hell for Auburn. He's dapping Perry up. Like these guys are. We're looking at the future of Auburn football here right now.
Right.
The future of Auburn football just gave each other a dap, and they're walking to their trucks right now. This is a great time for Hugh Freeze and Auburn football. I think this is going to be an amazing thing. I expect all these commitments to stick. No more flips. No more flips. They did all the flipping at the pool. They got it all out of the way. All the flipping was done on the diving board.
Mike, what would you say just in terms of and one of the things that I mentioned to Ike is that this coaching staff hasn't even coached a single down yet.
Right.
But the way they've been able to generate the excitement here, what's kind of the mood amongst the coaching staff? Even I think someone even mentioned the current players. What's kind of the mentality? You've been around that complex over the past year or so covering Auburn. What's the mood like currently?
The mood is we got to get it done. There's no time to waste. And right now they're selling dreams. And in a year, they hope that they can sell something a little bit more tangible than dreams. Right. And that's what it boils down to. You're selling playing time. You're telling guys, hey, you can come here and play early. You heard what Perry Thompson said. We got to get Auburn football back to something he said to where it used to be. And I'm like, as far as the wide receivers concerned, you might be trying to take them someplace they've never been.
Right.
So these guys all want to be part of something that is going to be fresh and new. And you got it. No matter what you think Hugh Freeze is selling, it's working, man. I'm telling you, these guys are excited about getting here and getting into the system and getting going. So the mood is excitement. It's excitement here. Yeah, they're building something. They have to be in the top 7 in recruiting, Hugh Freeze said, by year 3, or everybody's going to be looking for jobs. This is how you do it. Can Auburn football use this momentum and finish with a top 10 recruiting class in year 1? Gus did it. I'll be interested to see if Hugh Freeze can do it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, man, just talk about Hugh Freeze because it's not like Auburn hasn't had good recruiters on staff, right? I mean, Trevon Reed was there last year. Caddy was there last year. But talk about from the top down, the head guy actually taking the initiative and the lead to recruit, and the impact it's having on this class.
Well, I think that leadership matters, right? And having the head guy put the type of energy that he's putting into recruiting definitely is filtering down to the staff. I mean, you can see Trevon Reed right behind me. These guys have been out here, man, and they've been working really, really hard to make sure they can get every recruit in the door. They're not taking anything for granted. It's been one of those things where if you can show a kid that he's important, because it's not only just Trevon and Zach, it's the head coach. It's everybody. It's a whole system. We all believe, we all know who you are. When you walk through the door, you feel special here. It's something amazing. I got Trevon right behind me. Let me sneak back here.
See if you can get him on.
Trevon Reed, the man. I'm live here from the athletic department. I got the man.
Yeah.
The
We super live in here, baby. What's up?
What's going on, Trevon?
Good.
Listen, we've got hundreds of people live right now. Talk a little bit about Big Cat Weekend and what you guys have been able to do. Perry Thompson has committed. You guys have pulled off 2 5-stars in a week. This is unprecedented at Auburn. What's going on in recruiting right now that you guys are doing so well?
Man, it's a team effort. Coach Freeze got us all on one accord. Everyone pitching in. Everyone showing these guys what Auburn is about, and it's happening. It's back to where it should have been a long time ago. But hey, it's here now.
Yeah, listen, you were a part of this culture as a player. How special is it to be now as a coach and administratively selling Auburn to kids who are looking to continue their football career at the college level, but do it at a high level?
Man, it's even better being on this side, to be honest. Like being a former player, because for me to get in this profession, I wanted the youngest to be way better than I ever was. In order for that to happen, we have to get guys of that caliber. So now that we getting these guys, man, I pray this class coming and win 4 straight championships.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Like, I want these guys to be way better than we ever were in all aspects of life.
Right.
And I want them to do the same to the guys behind them. And then if we keep passing it down, man, Auburn will be one of them programs that people want to come to automatically.
Last question. You guys going to finish top 10 in recruiting this year?
Top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5.
You heard it here first.
So wait a minute. Hold on,
Mike.
Mike. I got one more question. I want to hear him say it live. Are we done yet?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Yes,
Live from the Performance Center, we are not done yet. Trevon Reed, putting everybody on notice.
Oh,
we are
man.
not done yet.
Good work, Mike. Good work,
Yeah.
Mike. What is left? If there's anything left on the agenda, or are we pretty much?
That's pretty much it. Like I said, we've got some. We've got a lot of special players here. I'm gonna tell you guys
go
right
grab
now.
my guy Dukes, man. Tell him what's up, man. Oh, is that Robbie?
He's talking. Yeah, that's Robbie. He's talking to Brandon Jacobs right now.
Okay, for sure.
Wow.
Brandon Jacobs' son is here at Big Cat.
For sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely some special things going on.
What does his son play?
Grab Robbie real quick. Tell him to come say.
Okay, hold on, wait. Robbie asked for. Robbie, we're live here from the Performance Center.
What up, Robbie?
I'll bring it in. Robbie answered. Hundreds of people watching you live, Robbie. Listen, you were over at the pool with the recruits, trying to convince people that Auburn is the place to be. What is that experience like? You've been on both sides of it, and how do you think these guys felt about what they saw here on Big Cat Weekend?
I thought it was great. I mean, you seeing the talent Coach Freeze bringing in. I mean, we didn't have that before. I mean, last year, you weren't seeing these type of caliber recruits coming in. I mean, just to see the commits we got, just banding around those guys, trying to get them to come here. I mean, that just shows a lot. It shows how much they bought in too, just like we are. So, I mean, we've been trying to get them guys to come. I mean, they've been doing a great job. I mean, Flippin' Perry was a prime example of that. And we got one more coming, but I ain't going to say
We got one more coming. He said it. Listen, one more question, Robbie, before I let you go. The season's coming. You guys are about to get into camp. How are you feeling about camp? Update the fans on how you're feeling health-wise and your shoulder and everything.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, just going back, playing hurt the whole year. I mean, it feels good to just come back and be healthy. But I'm just excited to go out there and compete. I mean, going against great competition, Peyton, Holden, those guys have been fun to work with. It's just fun to compete with every day. So, I mean, we're just going to go out there every day and just try to get each other better. I mean, end of the day, it's just whatever we can do to make for the best for the success of the team. So we're just gonna do whatever we can. Our 1% every single day is what we can get better at, and just keep building on it. I mean, this team's gonna be special. I feel like we got a really special group. So.
There you go, live from the Performance Center. Robbie Asher, appreciate you, brother. Listen, lots of great things going on out here. I'm gonna bring in who y'all want? Y'all want the Dukes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But why not?
He's still talking to Brandon right now. I'm gonna give him a minute to get settled. But like I said, a lot of great energy in the building. You know, can't stress enough, guys. Current players are out here. Current players are out here recruiting and highly involved the leaders. You know, seeing Robbie Ashford out here, you know, talking to Perry Thompson and to these receivers. I mean, that's big. You know, I think that's a big leadership piece. You know, if he's here next year and Perry Thompson is here next year, you know, starting that relationship early and understanding what, you know, the expectations are and setting that tone early, I think is going to be really important. So it's cool to see current players out here, current leaders on the team out here at an event like Big Cat Weekend to help setting the tone for these guys before they step on campus.
For sure. All right, we'll give you a break real quick and let you try to see if you can check in with some other people. But we appreciate you doing the Lord's work out there at Big Cat Weekend right now.
It's hot.
Yeah, about to say, stay hydrated, my brother.
All right, man. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Mike G out here doing his thing, baby. Man, where else you gonna get this kind of stuff? You're not getting this nowhere but the War. I'm sorry. This is no shade to nobody else. You're not getting this anywhere but the War Report.
A little bit of shade.
That's no shade. That's just truth, man.
No,
just telling the truth out here.
I'm feeling shady today. I'm feeling a little shady.
Listen, man,
today.
it is what it is. If you guys haven't shared the live to get other people out here knowing what's up, then I don't know what y'all are waiting on to make that happen. You got 500 people in here. Should be 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Should be 1,000 on the live right now. Y'all slacking right now, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Be nice to us and share this and smash that like button. Be nice to us today. We doing a lot of work. Let me grab some super chats. Lil Ricky says, "Happy birthday to me."
Yeah,
or damn Thompson. Happy birthday to you, man. I couldn't think of a better gift to you, man. You got to be smiling on a day like this. Yeah. Another year of life and another 5-star recruit for your team. So that's a good day for you. Cleveland Brown, War Eagle, a great day to be an Auburn Tiger. I think we're ready. We're ready. Let's go ahead and bring him in here, Ike.
Yeah, live from the Performance Center. I got my guy, Philip Dukes. Philip Dukes, man. Listen, Big Cat Weekend, dude. You've been around Auburn a lot. You know, really plugged in the Atlanta area. How big is what Auburn's doing in recruiting right now?
It's huge. You can't even really put it into words. The vibe here, like I said, I think I put a tweet out that said it kind of remind me of the Texas A&M game, like kind of how everybody's excited. It's a lot of different things going on. You could just tell it's like a turning of the tide. And you see it, man, 2 5-stars and what?
In a week. In a week.
Bro, come on, man. And we've been waiting, years? Come on.
Yeah.
Not weeks, excuse me. Auburn has.
Listen, Perry Thompson is flipped, dude. It's huge coup for Hugh Freeze to get Perry Thompson to flip. And, you know, how big is what they're doing at wide receiver right now?
I think it's huge. I think Marcus Davis is doing a phenomenal job. And I think getting a guy like Perry, let's start with Malcolm Simmons. The pure athleticism of those two receivers, and if you throw a Bryce Payne in, you'll probably have one of the more athletic wide receiver classes in the entire country. I can't think of one with 3 commits that's purely athleticism that are better than those 3. So it's a really exciting time, and you can just tell what Hugh Freeze has on his mind.
Last question, Duke.
Yep.
Can Auburn finish? Trevon Reed said top 5 in recruiting. They'll finish. Where's Auburn going to finish this recruiting class?
I tell you what, they real close. I don't think 5 is out of the question. I think it's close to top 10 for sure. I'd bet my house on the top 10 for
top
sure.
10 for sure. Listen, you heard it. Philip Dukes, man, check him out. Duke the Scoop, Casual Flex on YouTube. My man, Philip Dukes doing his thing. We're live from the Performance Center, guys. Appreciate you, Duke.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm shutting it down. Big day for Auburn.
Yeah, definitely go and get yourself some water, man. And we'll holler back at you. We'll have you live tomorrow to get more of your full reaction on the weekend tailgate. All right, peace.
Who was that?
Yeah, I have no idea. All right, man. Yeah, man. So you heard Trevon Reed say top 5 Duke said at least top 10 for sure, right on the cusp of top 5.
It puts you right at 7, as far as I'm concerned. I'm hearing Hugh Freeze may get that top 7 recruiting class potentially in year 1 out the
Right.
gate.
Like he said, if we don't do it by year 3, if he does it in year 1, the way our fans get it. Let's just put this hypothetical out here. Let's say he does get into the top 10, right? Which they're close to it right now. If he's, Robbie says they got one more still coming. I think that's going to be DeAndre Carter. If, we're talking about guys who are there and will probably commit before they leave. DeAndre Carter might be on the horizon. And then you do actually go get a KJ Bolden when he commits on the 5th. Then you fill out the rest of the class with whatever you need, to get your numbers where they need to be. I don't think that top 10 is out of the question. But let's put this hypothetical. They land in the top 10, close to that top 7 that he's talking about, and get 8 wins this season. Does Auburn Twitter completely melt down at that point in time? Right? Do we just go crazy and say we're winning natties like in everybody's?
I think we become I think we become in football the way we have been in basketball over the past few years. We become flat out insufferable.
Yeah.
Which I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
I'm here for all of that. But I think what it does, Ike, is the belief level. Because I think right now you're in the state of vision casting. You're casting the vision. You're telling people where we're going, and people are buying into what Hugh Freeze is selling and what he's preaching. But if you're able to take a team that has had a losing record over the past 2 seasons, and you improve by 3 games and win 8 games in a regular season, on top of having a top 10 recruiting class, what does that tell? What message does that send for the 2025 class? Because those kids were here. Those kids were here too for Big Cat.
Right. It's not just the 24 class that are there and participating in all these activities. There's some 25 and 26 kids that are here, seeing this momentum, seeing all of these young men celebrate one another, and actually getting to witness other fan bases turning on the guys that were committed to them once, right? Like they're seeing all of this stuff happening. You go out there and you put 8 wins on the field, and you officially, I think, put the SEC on notice, because to me, it's completely different than that Texas A&M class that was number 1 overall. You go out that next season, you win 4 games, right? Or whatever they finished, 5 games, whatever they ended up winning. They win 5 games after they put the number 1 class ever, right, out there. You go out and you finish in the top 10 and you win 8 games. It feels very different as a fan base with the talent is coming in the next season after having a successful season on the field. And oh man, we've got top 10 class coming to play the very next year. And that's not to mention what they could potentially do in the transfer portal to be able to fill some of the gaps that might be there. We may be looking at and this is a premature statement, I know. We may be looking at what Clemson was able to do, where they just made this gradual progression to being one of the top teams in the country perennially. Because Clemson, listen, man, nobody was thinking about Clemson before they started wiping the ACC up. Now, a little bit harder to do that here in the SEC, but nobody was sitting here looking at Clemson saying, man, every year Clemson's going to be one of them ones.
Right.
And I think that we've got more of a pedigree than Clemson does. So you have the potential to do that with Coach Hugh Freeze here.
I agree. I agree with that. And I think just the talent that you're able to get now, again, Clemson was recruiting well.
Right.
But I'm not quite sure if they're recruiting this well.
No, they
starting out the gate. So
they had 1 or 2 guys right here and there. They get a splash here and there, but they weren't every year. You were going to see them in the top 5, top 10 for sure, but top 5 if they finished really well with a couple of 5 stars. And every year they're being picked as national title contenders. Oh man, Clemson's going to be in that top. Nobody can convince anybody going into a season. They saw DJ Uiagalelei play poorly and still said, oh, they're going to turn it around the next year. It's Clemson. like that. They're starting to get that benefit of the doubt that they're going to figure it out because of what Dabo Swinney's been able to put together there. Even losing coordinators and having a quarterback that was playing subpar, people still thought Clemson was going to compete last year.
Right, right. That's the respect that they have earned over. I mean, again, winning 2 national championships and always being in the hunt will get you there for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we can begin to do that. Again, this is very encouraging for Auburn fans, just seeing the fact that Auburn is actually relevant on the recruiting trail. Being relevant on the recruiting trail should at the very least make you relevant in the SEC race, because you have a lot of the same talent that these top tier schools are going after. So I think that this is, again, a sign of positive things to come. Again, I am excited to see, to your point, Ike, if we can see that gradual progression year after year on top of what we're seeing in recruiting. Auburn's going to be back in about a good 2 or 3 years. I mean, when I say back, I mean absolutely going to the playoffs.
Right.
Because again, you got a 12-team playoff. They are going to be in that hunt. They're going to be causing a lot of, and again, it's coming at the right time with the conference expanding. You're doing away with divisions. The time is now for them to strike. And I like what Auburn has done so far. Again, a successful weekend, and we should be on the lookout for more in the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. Think that, again, the dominoes have started to fall. They've been hinting at it. What did Coach Hugh Freeze say? He said everybody thinks it's crazy until it happens. And it's just not. I don't think that anybody thinks it's crazy right now. I think people are starting to believe a lot more in what's possible. Listen, I will eat all the crow in the world. I was the drum major for the band of, hey, it's early, give him a little bit more time when the Coach Harsin parade. I was like, man, y'all are too. I didn't know that you could listen. I didn't know it was possible to flip it this quickly, right? Like Coach Hugh Freeze has made me a believer in what's possible from a new coaching staff coming in and doing work in a short period of time.
Well, I'll tell you, crow actually, it depending on how you prepare it, crow tastes a little bit like chicken. It's a little gamey. It's a little gamey, as you can imagine, but all you got to do is have some good sides with it. So if you got some greens with it, the juicy greens, like you got everything running together on your plate. Because I've eaten crow. I've already ate crow already.
Yeah.
The further we've gotten away from the previous coaching staff and watching this coaching staff work with some of the same guys who are on this staff that was on the previous staff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I get why people had an issue with what was going on from a recruiting standpoint. And we were beginning to hear stories about what was happening behind the scenes.
Right.
And it just kind of showed that, okay, we have a head coach now who gets it, who understands the SEC, who understands what it takes to win, who understands that it really is about Jimmy. Yeah, you can scheme, but everybody can scheme and put together great game plans at this level. You need the Jimmys and Joes. And for him to sell out and be committed, he's committed. It has to bleed on over to your staff, who's a bunch of young, hungry, up-and-coming coaches who probably be head coaches one day in their own right. I'm excited about how he's building this thing and the fact that we're getting a return on investment this early. I'm shocked about that.
Yeah.
Let's grab some of you guys' comments. You guys got a lot to say. James Barnett says, fellas, how is this changing the buy-in for our current roster? Just feels like the 2023 season is going to be extra special. Well, you saw Robbie Ashford there, already there recruiting. It seems like everyone has the same message, right? Everyone's same mind, same message. There's a lot of excitement. And I think these guys, to what you said, what Mike G said, there's a sense of urgency. Not only just with recruiting, but the fact that we gotta get this done. We got to get back to winning. And so I like that everyone appears to be bought in. Everyone appears to be getting ready to work. And so I'm curious to see what the product looks like throughout the season, because I think it's going to be evolving. It's going to be improving and getting better as they become more cohesive. Because there's a lot of new players, Ike, new coaching staff, new systems. It's going to be a work in progress, but I'm excited to see it come together as the season unfolds.
Absolutely.
Amani Smoot says, to me, Walker White was the first domino. I have to
I
agree
mean,
with that.
that's fair. That's fair to say. He was the guy who kind of got everything kicked off, right?
Yeah.
It just wasn't the rapid movement. Like when I think dominoes, I think rapid falling. Like he
Right.
may have been I think he is like was a part of the process for setting up the dominoes,
Right.
right? More so than he was a domino that fell, but he definitely has been a catalyst for the motion that we've had recently because he's helped to continue the momentum since
Yes.
his commitment happened and getting other guys engaged in that and getting other guys who were committed in the class to follow along with the process of, hey man, we're going I don't care. This has been an interesting thing, right? Like I've seen fans of other fan bases talking about how embarrassed Auburn fans should be because they gathered around to watch the DeMarcus Riddick commitment in the team room, and they were all sitting like they were watching a movie. And Auburn should be embarrassed for themselves, act like you've been there, all this kind of thing. Number one, I don't know that they gathered for that purpose. It might have been happening at the time that they were doing something else. But number two, why do you want us to like I just don't get you wanting us to not be happy about a change in the momentum that we've had. Okay, I get it. You guys are used to it. It's old hat for you. But what if we never stop doing this? What if every year we throw parties for every recruit?
Don't tell me how to celebrate my win over you. Okay.
Right.
First and foremost, you hold this L and
Right.
watch us celebrate. Okay, because that's what Auburn fans have had to do when y'all would win these recruiting battles. Hold your L, shut up. We will celebrate how we so choose. If we want to roll tumors, we'll roll tumors.
Yeah.
Don't tell us how to celebrate beating you. Okay. We do
Yeah,
what we want to.
maybe when it gets, but see, here's the thing: rolling tumors never gets old.
Never.
It's never gonna get like I don't care how many times we win, we're going to go out there and we're going to celebrate in the same way. Just because you've grown tired of celebrating or you don't know how to like, I just don't think some of these guys even really know how to enjoy life, man. Like I think that's kind of the part of the problem. I've said this before. Something's wrong with your soul. Like you don't allow yourself to be happy. And there's a problem with that. And I am the most measured. I don't really get up and down. I'm the most measured guy in the world, but I'm not sitting here trying to make other people not be happy. Like, what is wrong with you to want to crap on someone else's happiness? That's where I'm just like, what are you doing? What are we doing with our lives
Because
right now?
they gotta hold the L, Ike. They don't want to hold it. Don't be excited about me holding my L. No, I think I will be excited about you holding the L. All right, hold it. Okay, hold it. Just hold it for a little bit, and
Yeah,
you may have to continue to hold it, but hold it. Hold it for now. All right. Let's see here. James Barnett says, "Man, those Freeze haters are awfully quiet." Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he still has his fair share of haters.
Yeah,
Because
listen,
I don't think
now if even if they're still not on board with him, now's not the time to be loud. Like you just kind of look bitter at that point in time. So I think it's good for them to continue to be quiet, but I also don't want you to if you took a principled stance, I would prefer that you remain standing on those principles and not allow success to taint those principles. So I'm not mad at anybody being silent right now and not saying, but he's still blah blah blah. Like even though there's plenty of people from other fan bases that are doing plenty of that, I don't know that it's really time to be loud. So
right.
you know, and I'm glad that he's not giving them a reason to be loud. So yes, continue, Coach Hugh Freeze, and reaffirming the faith and the trust that the administration has placed in you to not mess this opportunity up. And we're glad to see it.
I'll say this, Ike. No one is above critique. So if you're critical of Hugh Freeze for the things that he has actually done, and that makes you concerned about him in this new position, I think those are fair critiques.
Yeah.
But as it pertains to football, as it pertains to things that are pertaining to his job, I would hope that your criticism or concern would never be about his ability to do those things, because he didn't get fired because he wasn't winning games. He didn't get fired because he wasn't recruiting well.
Right.
He can do both of those things very well. So you shouldn't be loud at all at this point. What I hope is that those people who are critical of Hugh Freeze don't have to come around and tell the rest of us who wanted him as Auburn's coach, hey, I told you so,
Right.
because Hugh Freeze made a poor judgment or poor decision.
100%.
I don't want you to ever be loud or feel like you have to be loud because of something Hugh Freeze did. But what Hugh Freeze is doing now, this is football related. And this is something as Auburn fans, you should all be excited about what's happening from a football standpoint, because he's doing the things that you pay your head coach to do.
Yeah.
You should be excited. Whether you were critical of him or not, you should be excited today. Phil Petway says, Brandon Jacobs' son. Christ Jesus, tell me I'm old without telling me. I know, right? I know, right? I'm right there with you. I remember when Brandon Jacobs was in an Auburn Uni. Number 27.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Jazzy Joe.
Jazzy.
Appreciate the $20 super chat. He says, all this good news is coming from that murder bug that slept Mike in the fourth. Good to have you with us, Jazzy. Hope you well, brother.
Yes, sir.
Greg Weekly said this is better than ESPN. Well, thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. We aspire to give you some of the best coverage. Brad Browning says, I feel like I'm watching National Signing Day coverage. We do what we can, man. We out here doing a little something, something special for you.
Glad you guys are coming in here, jumping in with us. We appreciate it.
For sure. Steve Bradley says, LOL, just watched videos of the recruits chunking Coach Hugh. I saw that video where they threw Hugh Freeze in the pool. They were hollering, going crazy. Those guys are out to help Coach Hugh Freeze build his mission. We coming, War Eagle. For sure. Irvin McCoy says, do you think we get the 4-star linebacker Bradley Shaw from Hoover? I think that they're looking to take one more linebacker, Ike, in this recruiting class. Bradley Shaw is obviously one of those guys. He was at Big Cat, or he was supposed to be at Big Cat this weekend. There's another kid out of Arkansas, Simmons, who is also being considered as well. I'm not quite sure where they stand with Simmons, but Bradley Shaw is definitely a take, because there is one more linebacker they would like to take in this class. We're losing a good bit of linebackers too, I think. After this
the
season.
linebacker class it'll be interesting to see who decides to stick around another year. And I feel like some of those guys are going to transfer out that aren't getting opportunities. So we're going to need the linebackers to get bolstered up in this offseason for sure. If I'm not mistaken, Austin Keys is a junior, so he'll still have another year. But you've got a lot of guys that either are not going to get playing time or are going to be graduating and not feeling like it's, needed for them to play another season. So we're going to need to replenish that room pretty heavily. The kid that transferred from North Texas, this is his last year eligibility, so he can't play another year, right? So they're going to need some more people in that room. And we've got some guys that are freshmen who were not here in the spring that are going to help that linebacker room for sure. But it's going to be interesting to see how they turn that room over in the next 12 months.
For sure. Ike, you have anything more, man? I think we, unless you have anything, how you feeling about KJ in the next few days? I know he's one of the guys who has speculated that people are looking to maybe flip. But how are you feeling about the old lineman, that kid from out in Cali, Bolden? How you feel where Auburn stands? I mean, you don't have to make a prediction, but how you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a good shot of getting one, if not both of them, in the next week, right? So I think the momentum that's here right now will allow those guys to feel more comfortable about the decision, because it is a tough decision. Do you go somewhere with the established programs that you're going to compete for championships and they're putting people in the league, or do you come here and start a new legacy at Auburn? But I think with the momentum that's happening, they see that legacy developing right in front of them, and they're going to want to be a part of it. I think we got a good chance of getting both.
I like our chances. Our chances are better than they have been in recent weeks. I think Auburn has absolutely surged ahead, a lot like what they did with the Thompson, DeMarcus Riddick. I like where Auburn stands right now. And again, you can describe that with momentum. I'm curious to see what happens with guys like Zaquan Patterson. Auburn is looking to add another running back, Duke Watson. I'm be on the lookout for him. Dimitri Nicholas, who's a defensive lineman out of Florida that they're looking at. Bradley Shaw. I mean, there's a lot of different names out there right now. So I'm curious to see if we can get DeAndre Carter on and committed. That would be a huge win for for our offensive line group. And to your point, Ike, it will, for those who have been critical of O-line commitments, it would at least address that for them. If you get a guy or two committed from the offensive line group, and who knows, this coaching staff may reshuffle their board and go after new names.
Yeah.
And they've shown the ability to be able to do that and pick up guys. So they understand what the needs are and who they need to get. And I trust this staff to go out and achieve just that.
Absolutely.
Ike, you want to take us out, man?
Yeah, man. Make sure that you are doing the necessary. Share the video. If you haven't shared it already, we want to hear more thoughts from you all down in the comments section. Like the video before you get out of here, and subscribe to the channel if you are new in here. Even if you are from another fan base, listen, we will talk more about the other schools as we get into the season. Make sure you hit us up on social media at The War Report, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TW Report on TikTok. We are out of here until tomorrow, the weekend tailgate. We will be coming back to you live at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Day 2 of Big Cat Weekend going down tomorrow. So make sure that you guys are locked in with everything that's going to continue to happen today, and maybe some more news before the recruits get out of here this weekend. But that's it, man. We are signing off until the next time. And as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.